So this is usually a world where I build places from Google Maps and just unfinished builds that I think are cool. But this is not what this video is about. This video is actually going to be me building a house that used to be in my town that got destroyed. They tore it down, but had a very much so history to it. It makes me want to cry. But I'm also going to tell you a ghost story one of my friends told me back when it was here. And I'm going to tell it in clips. So let's build the foundation. So this house that used to be in my town was very destroyed. It used to be an old, I'm pretty sure miner or something's house. It was known to be a house-in hotel. He let people stay there. Some myths suggest it is a brothel. I don't know if I believe that though. But this guy would sell rooms here and let people stay as he pleased to make a little extra money on the side of his job. Which, heck, at the time it was, I'm pretty sure, the 1800s, so you trusted really everybody. But I heard stories of a woman being there, which this woman was lonely. This house was a two-story house. It had a black roof, had a chimney, and I think it would be a very nice house if it was nowadays, or back then really. This house had windows that were all cool and everything. Awesome looking windows. Had a lot of them. On one side of the house it didn't have windows, and it was oddly bland, but that's not the story. But just paint a picture of this house that is a white, pale oak in Minecraft, and is just, one of those like almost modern looking houses, but it was made in the 1800s. Very weird to picture, right? But honestly, I think it would have been an okay house nowadays and fit in with today's culture of houses. So, anyways, back to the story. So, again, this is local folklore, so this is never gonna be like, really, it's not like, really, I don't know, true. But I will tell you, I did, however, encounter as a little child, these, this thing, and I don't know whether it's malevolent, if it's whatever, but, I was a little kid, and looking back at this picture, I get a dark aura. But let's get on with the actual story that I have. I've always heard this guy had this woman in his house at one point, and she haunts it to this day, or until the house got knocked down. Which, when the house got knocked down, I felt nothing lift from this area. I still stare at it to this day and feel like something's there, But I heard that this woman was a young woman back then, and she was dying from something. And when she was dying, she resided in this house Um, that is called the 1880 Italianate. I heard this woman was sick. When this woman was sick, she was, dying. I've heard stories of her dying from heartbreak, leprosy. I've even heard tuberculosis. No one knows really how she died, and I don't even know if it's a woman at all. It's very, it's very hard for me to talk about, but I want to talk about this story because I find it so kind of cool since it's local folklore from my town. I'm from my old mining town, and I go to school at a place here, and you know, it's just a very old town, and I think talking about it will just open your guys' eyes up a little bit more to what's out there, and explore maybe the paranormal. I, anyways, this miner, whatever, let this woman in, and she died on his hands. And in one of the windows, before it was tore down, I heard you could still see her. And this was after the fact. I know there has to be something prevalent within the area of this house still. Anyways, where was I? Years and years before I heard this story, I saw something. Yes, I saw something, of course. That's how every single ghost story, somebody sees something and it may or may not be it, and but maybe it was a shadow figure, maybe it was something. No, it was not a shadow figure. I can tell you it wasn't a shadow figure. I can tell you she didn't look alive, and she didn't look dead. She was just very pale. I saw a pale woman, which I'm getting chills now, but I thought it would be really cool for you too. I saw a pale woman, and she was in the house in this balcony's window. And it resonates with me still to this day, because it looked like she had pain in her eyes, or like something happened that wasn't what the story suggests. Now, I may never know what happened to this woman. I thought about trying with a spirit box or something. Never brought myself to do it though, since I don't really have the money. But this house, I remember to this day. Now, does this look like the 1880 Italianate? You tell me once you look it up. Anyways, bye, you guys. I hope you enjoyed my little ghost story. And Merry Christmas.